What's up, everybody? This is Eric from Easy Computer Solutions. So I'm doing a gimbal comparison of 3 of my favorite gimbals that I use on this YouTube channel. I use these gimbals a lot. And a lot of y'all guys been asking me, what's my favorite gimbal? And could I break down each gimbal that I have that I use here on this YouTube channel? Sure, I can. So I have the Smooth 4 here, and I have the DJI Osmos 2, and I have the the Mini S by Moza. So I'm going to compare all 3 of these gimbals, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on what I think about these gimbals in this video. So sit back and relax and get your popcorn ready and follow me on this journey. Let's go. What's up, guys? This is Eric back with another video. So I got 3 gimbals here. These are my 3 favorite gimbals. Now, as I'm recording this video, DJI have released a new gimbal, but this is the Osmos 2. They released a 3rd iteration, which I don't have, and I don't think it's available as of recording this video. So I'm going to use these gimbals that I have right here, especially if you're in the market of trying to get a gimbal for your smartphone. Smartphones have came a long way, but using a gimbal has spiced it up a little bit to give you that cinematic feel and that cinematic look and that cinematic footage of your videos. So first thing I want to do is talk about the build quality of all 3 of these gimbals here. Now, both of these gimbals pretty much cost the same. I will leave all the product links down in the description, but the Mini S, which is the foldable one, comes in at a relatively cheap 99 bucks, I believe. So again, I'm going to leave all the product links down in the description. This is going to be the more cheaper option, but it's still relatively good. So we go get into it, but let's talk about the build quality. Now, this is the Smooth 4, right? And the Smooth 4 is the bigger one out of all of them. I mean, it's not compact at all. I mean, it's a relatively good, kind of heavy gimbal. It does have a long handle. You got all your button controls here at the top. As you can see, all your button controls, and we're gonna talk about that in a minute. But you do have a nice, good build quality here. I mean, I really do like the build quality here on this device. I mean, it's a nice premium look and feel from the Smooth 4, and it's one of my favorites. Definitely one of my favorites. All right, so we got the DJI gimbal here. Now this gimbal kind of interesting. It's a little shorter than the Smooth 4. It's all plasticky design. I mean, it don't feel premium. It's not too premium as a Smooth 4, but it gets the job done. It has minimal buttons here. No trigger on this one, which a lot of people may not like, but it's a really good gimbal, but it don't have a lot of buttons like the Smooth 4. Now, the Mini S, and it's foldable, which is nice, and it's the smaller one out of the pack when it's folded, and when you unfold it, right? Let's see if I can unfold this. Boom. All right, so when you unfold it, again, it is a nice gimbal here. I use this one a lot also. But it is a premium plastic design. I mean, you do have metal here, but when you look at it, again, minimal controls, and you do have a trigger, which is nice. Trust me, the trigger comes in handy a lot when you're filming. So it does have minimal controls. And look, I've been having this one for a while. I mean, it is getting a little scratched up, but overall, it is a nice premium gimbal for the price. So the device I'm using today is going to be the Galaxy S10 Plus. And the reason why I'm using this instead of the Galaxy Note 10 is because a couple of y'all guys hit me in the comments and told me that if I'm going to do the gimbal review, do it on the Galaxy S10 instead of the Note, because as of right now, a lot of people don't have the Galaxy Note 10 right now. So I'm going to, honor y'all guys' wishes, and I'm going to do it on the Galaxy S10 Plus. All right, so each one of the gimbals have its own perspective app, right? So the Smooth 4 have the Zhiyun Play app, you got the DJI Go app, and you got the Moza app. All right, so let's go over the app real quick on all 3 devices, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts on which one I like the best. All right, guys, so I'm out here at the park, and the first gimbal that I want to talk about is the DJI, right? And I got the DJI right now on the gimbal. And so one of the things I do want to show you guys is that I'm ready to shoot, and I got the Galaxy S10 Plus, and the shooting modes, it's tricky, and it's maybe the Samsung issue here that I talked about in a lot of my videos, is that right now I don't have no control over whether or not I can shoot in 4K, whether or not I can shoot at 1080p 60 or 1080p 30. So right now it's only giving me the normal mode, and this is one of the shameful things with using the app on Samsung devices, because Samsung lock down the APIs that some of these manufacturers cannot have access to the different modes on Samsung devices. So just want you to know that I'm not even sure what I'm shooting here, because it does not want to give me access to the shooting modes. But it does have time lapse, it does have hyperlapse, it does have motion time lapse and stuff like that. You can shoot the front facing camera, you can take photos and everything in between. Now you can use the native camera app if you want to shoot at 1080p 30, 1080p 60, but I'm using the app that DJI proposed as far as using it for the gimbal. All right, again, you can move it left and right, and it works perfectly fine. So what I want to do here is I'm going to show you guys some of the tracking, and I'm going to front the camera, and I'm gonna try to see if I can get this thing to track me. So check this out. All right, so I want to show you one of the unique features of having the DJI and the DJI camera app kind of intertwined with each other. They have what's called auto tracking. This is a unique feature, especially if you're filming by yourself. So I'm going to hit record here, and as I'm recording, it's telling me it's 720p. So this is one of the issues that I have with Samsung devices, that I can't change the resolution from 720p to 4K or anything like that, because it doesn't have access to it. So let me go and put a bubble in the screen there, and let me see if I can get myself in front of the camera and see if it can track me. All right, so I'm standing in front of the camera. I give it a second or so it can try to lock on to me, and then let's see if it works. It hasn't locked on to me yet. All right, so look like it's not really locked on me. It's kind of locked on something else. Okay, so now it looks like it's locked on me. Not necessarily. See, these are some of the growing pains, especially if you want to film by yourself. During the auto tracking, you have to kind of get it right. The first time, now look like it's focused on me now. Let me see if I can move. Yeah, so now the auto tracking is fixed on me, but it takes a little minute for it to work. Now, if you have somebody here as a secondary person, you could kind of show off that yes, it will work. But if you by yourself, it works good when it works. But other than that, this is one of the unique features of having the camera app intertwined with the software. Now, one of the biggest downfalls, and it's kind of dealing with Samsung a little bit, that these camera apps don't have access to all the Samsung modes. So right now I'm filming at 720p, and I cannot go no higher than 720p, and that's only on the Samsung device. I know when I put it on my other devices, I could go up to 1080p and 4K, but unfortunately with Samsung devices, unfortunately it's locked to 720p recording, which is a bummer. So all for nothing, the camera app along with the Samsung device is pretty much worthless when filming. So I just want to give you a little footage of this. Let me go ahead and get the Mini S, and because it does the same thing. Let's go ahead and put that on the tripod. All right, so I have the Mini S here, right? And I want to show you guys this real quick. Looking at the software, it also has the auto tracking and everything in between. But with this app, it does sync into the APIs of Samsung devices. So you are able to do 4K, you are able to do 720p, you are able to do, let's see, you're able to do 720 at 120 frames per second. you're able to do 1080p at 240 frames per second, which is that good slow-mo, and you could do 720p at 240 frames per second. So with this camera app, what is the Zhiyun app, it tap into all the Samsung APIs, and it tap into everything dealing with Samsung. So you are able to go inside and change anything that you need to change. So I'm gonna go to for this camera purpose, I'm just gonna go to 1080p real fast, but you can change it to 4K. So I'm gonna show you the tracking feature again with this device. All right, so another unique feature that I like about this camera app, and it has your white balance and your focus, also with the auto tracking. So let's see if it can focus on me and see if it's gonna turn. Look like it's not locked on me yet. And this is one of the growing pains of having these gimbals that have this tracking feature, right? Is that it doesn't work all the time. You have to get it just right. So I'm gonna go behind the camera and I'm gonna see if I can draw up the bubble again, see if I can come, and I'm gonna keep the film rolling so we can see here. Okay, so as you can see, it's not that great, and let's go on and see if I can draw another bubble here and see if I can stand in front of the camera and see if it can lock on me. Give it a second and see if it locks on me. And if I turn here, no, again, it's having problems trying to pull that lock on me. And let's go ahead and do it for a third and last time. Let's see if I can get it, and I'm gonna draw a smaller bubble, and let's see if I can get myself in the mix there. Again, one of the issues of these gimbals here that the software sometimes don't always work all the time. So yeah, again, for a third time, it's not working as advertised. So 3 times a charm. The software sometimes doesn't work that well, but I tried to do it a couple of times and it didn't work. So this is the app, and you can, one of the unique features about this app is that it pulls into the APIs that you can go up to 4K, and you can do 240 frames per second, which is that nice slow motion effect, which is great. So I'm going to go ahead on and pull out the Smooth 4 and give you some commentary on the Smooth 4. All right, so I got the Smooth 4 here, and let's go and let y'all guys see it. And again, this is probably one of my favorite, but it is missing some features. Now, as far as the API with Samsung, you can shoot 4K 30, and you can shoot 1080p 30 and 720p. So you do have controls, and you do have a lot of controls as far as scenes, cameras, manual controls, and stuff like that, controlling your white balance. So by far, this is probably the favorite app that I have right here when it comes out to the Smooth 4, because you have all controls over everything. And I'm going to start it, and I'm going to do 1080p, and I am going to start, and I'm going to just press here, go to camera, and I am going to start, boom. All right, so the camera's running, and it gives me all kinds of different things here that I like. Sorry, bumpy cam, but it gives me a whole lot of controls here. So I'm gonna walk in front of the camera, and again, it does have tracking, but it doesn't move. So I'm gonna use the tracker, and what that tracking does is, wow. So this is a unique feature. This is something new here, that it does have tracking. Now, this update here, and again, this is weird because I never used the camera app, but look like it does have some kind of tracking, and the gimbal is moving by itself. So this is unique here. Look like it's not doing a good job, but all of them have some type of tracking, and look like it's locked on me now. Let's see, yeah. So I don't use those camera app software with these gimbals. I always use Filmic Pro. So using it for the first time, and it's kind of shocking me because I said in this video that the Smooth 4 does not have auto tracking, but it does. So it looks like it's not that great. It looks like it's not that great, but you know, hey, it is what it is. So, all right, so this portion of the video, what I'm going to do is give you guys about a minute and a half of each gimbal doing some type of cinematic footage. I'm out here at the park, so I'm going to take each device, the Galaxy S10, and put it on each gimbal, and I'm going to give you about a minute and a half of cinematic footage so you could be the judge for yourself on which gimbal is better. Now I will leave all product material and everything down in the description below if you want to pick one of these up. I know this has been a very long video, but hey, let's have some more fun. Let me show you about a minute and a half clip of each gimbal. All right, guys, so this is the Smooth 4, right? And it's a really good gimbal, and I want to kind of get some of this footage in here so y'all guys can see some of the footage, and it have all the controls here, right? And one of the unique things that I like is that you can do the blur effect here, and as you can see, I can blur out the tree there, that flower will kind of blur back in, and that's one of the unique features of having this camera here, gimbal, that you can do a lot of blur effects. So let's go and check out the stabilization on this device. Let's see, position it pretty well. Let's go on the walk. All right, and as I'm walking, you be the judge for yourself how smooth the footage is here. And I'm using the native camera app. There it is. I'm using the Smooth 4 app. Yes, so I'm walking pretty fast, and as you can see, the gimbal does a really good job at keeping everything pretty smooth. There it is. All right, so this is the Smooth 4 right here. I love this gimbal. The sky looks pretty good. You could change some menu controls with the app, but I always recommend Filmic Pro. Let me go on the switch to the DJI right here. All right, guys, so this is the DJI app here. And one of the unique features that I like about this gimbal is that I can actually move the gimbal side to side, and I don't have to move anywhere. So, and again, it does have that tracking that it works sometimes, not all the time. Let me see if I could do that. Nope, we can't do it while I'm recording. So I can't do the focusing tracking while I'm recording. So there it is. And it doesn't have the blur effect here as the other one. I mean, you actually can do the blur effect. Well, no, you can't. Not with the native camera app. And as you can see, the quality. Now again, this is peaked out at 720p, folks, which is not a very good resolution. And so if you want to use the DJI Atmos 2, I will tell you to use Filmic Pro, because you're gonna get higher resolutions versus the DJI app, because it does not have the Samsung clearance, I guess, to use more resolution. So there it is. All right, here we go. Let's see, go down here, which is nice. No problem there as far as the gimbal. The gimbal's pretty stable, and here it is, right? This is the gimbal. And that, again, my problem is that 720p is no good. I mean, it's not a good resolution. Even though I'm probably going to render this at 4K, it doesn't matter. I mean, 720p is 720p. I think DJI would need to get with Samsung to see if they can open up the APIs and get some more resolution options, because right now 720p is no good. But this is the DJI Atmos 2. All right, let me go on and get the Mini S by Moza. All right, guys, so this is the Moza Mini S right here. This is actually the cheaper one, but it has so much unique features here. I can actually change my white balance. I can do my focus points. The app is really good. I can go up to 240 frames per second. I can do a lot of things with the camera app here with this device. And it's crazy how this one here, being the cheaper option, has the most features as far as the app. Now, it doesn't have integration with Filmic Pro, but using the native camera app with this device is great. Using the camera app which is the Zhiyun app. It's great. Now, I mean, as you can see, all the gimbals do a pretty good job with stabilization, so you won't have those issues with stabilization. But yeah, I mean, listen, this is probably the favorite app besides the Smooth 4. But this one here is great. And again, for the price, I mean, this gimbal is relatively cheap, and it's foldable, and it does everything you need it to do. It's not the best built one, but as you can see, and I can go up and down, just standing right here. I actually like this gimbal. I actually like this software, but hey, I mean, you be the judge for yourself when looking at gimbals. And again, a foldable gimbal, and I can kind of go up a little bit high, and I can change the speeds. But overall, this is one of the favorites when it comes down to the native software. And as you can see, there's no white balance going in. And I'm gonna give you an example of what I'm talking about. So when I get into a darker scene, see, I got my white balance locked. So that means that the trees and everything is pretty dark. And now, but if I change the white balance, boom, now you see that the trees is in lighter now. But if I lock it, and if I go into the light, as you can see, everything is blowed out. This is where the manual controls come in at. And boom, there it is. So I love this app. This is probably one of my favorites. I mean, it's a really close call between the Smooth 4 app and this app. And just because of the manual controls. This is the Zhiyun app of the Mini S. Wow. All right, guys, so all the footage you just saw came from all three of these gimbals. And in my opinion, I really like the Smooth 4. This has been one of my favorite gimbals. Now, I made videos about Filmic Pro, and I use all these gimbals on Filmic Pro. But it's nice to see that some of the app software that come with these gimbals have updated. Like I talked about in this video, that that the Smooth 4 now have auto tracking, which was not present when I first got the gimbal. So that is a very unique feature. But as far as all these gimbals, one of the biggest downfalls for using the DJI app is it's on 720p, and you cannot raise it no higher than 720p. So that is a big downfall because it's actually unusable as far as the app when recording. Now you can record with the front facing camera, and yes, you can use auto tracking with the front facing camera, but I talk about this a lot in my videos, is that the front facing camera is no good. I always recommend using the rear cameras on phones because that's going to be the best camera to use on the device. But overall, I like the Smooth 4. It is a phenomenal device. And again, with the camera app, it goes up to 4K 30, but using Filmic Pro, you can also do 4K. But using Filmic Pro on all these devices, you can go up to 4K, which is great. Now, one of the unique things that I like about the Mini S is that yes, you can have manual controls that you can change your white balance, your focus points and stuff like that. So the app on the Moza is really good, right? And it gives you everything from 240 frames and everything. So when it comes down to frames per second and a lot of details, the Moza app is the best. When it comes down to if you want to use the software that comes with the gimbal. The DJI is good, is a great gimbal, but the software, the app is no good. But the Smooth 4 has a good app, but not as detailed as the Moza app. So overall, my pick is going to be the Smooth 4. I love this gimbal. It's really good for me, but you be the judge for yourself. This is Eric from Easy Computer Solutions. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think about all three of these gimbals in action. See you guys on the next video. Peace.